right. Welcome, everyone. It's great here to be with you all today. Please be aware that today's session is being recorded. My name is Dallas. I've been in the IT sector for almost 30 years. I'm a senior technology adoption consultant with Change Champions. Before this, I worked for Microsoft and Apple for about 15 years. Over the last year, I've been focusing on the AI space. I've received the AI 102, which is currently Microsoft's highest AI certification. While I was at Microsoft, I was an enterprise trainer and a customer success manager, helping clients to learn and adopt everything M365. Quickly, a fun fact about me is I spent 13 years living and traveling overseas. Who are Change Champions? Well, we are a Microsoft partner in the user adoption and change management space. We partner with organizations to maximize their investment in their technology and boost their bottom line. Our approach is to offer expertise in Microsoft tech. We are also ProSci certified. ProSci is a change management certification. To help our clients succeed, we partner with some amazing partners like Brainstorm, Microsoft, and many, many more. Before we jump in, let's do a quick overview on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is baked into everything Microsoft. Many features you're using may be backed by AI. In today's session, we're going to explore new and existing features backed by artificial intelligence to empower everyone to get more done with less, allowing you to be more productive and save your time. Many of these features you can start using today or very, very soon. Most features are available in a standard license. Others may require a different license or a bolt onto your current license. If you have any questions about specific features, you're welcome to reach out to us. The latest buzz in AI is ChatGPT. Chat is already at Microsoft and being enriched with Copilot coming to more M365 spaces. Copilot is an extension of specific licenses. It can be turned on or off by the user, by the team, or by the organization. Basically, Copilot has the ability to query all of our work resources to quickly mine and find what's most relevant, our most relevant content. It only returns results that I've either created or that have been shared with me. I have no worries whatsoever of confidential information from another business unit being leaked to me. Copilot can provide a quick answer based on what it finds, or I can ask it to curate a written conclusion based on a matrix of sources. It is not replacing me, but serving me up with everything that I need very quickly so I make the best of my time and my effort. It's really about assisting me. It will likely surface up things I would have missed on my own. AI is not perfect, and it still requires a human touch to extract, to proof, and reshape what it creates. You use Copilot as little or as much as you want to automate your routines. So much of AI is always working behind the scenes that you may not even be aware that you've been using AI, or that you'll be using AI even more in the future. So today our agenda is up to 45 minutes. I'm going to let you know that I have about 30 minutes of content, and then I've reserved 15 minutes for a Q&A. But if we go over in that Q&A, I'm going to stick around. In today's session, we're going to explore some AI-backed tools in Office. We're going to have a little discussion about responsible AI, and then we're going to have a dedicated Q&A. So if you do have questions, comments, concerns, save them till the end or pop them into the Q&A space, and they'll be some of the first ones that I address. But I do want to make sure that we can get out in a timely fashion for anyone that doesn't have those questions, comments, or concerns. Sorry, just give me a moment here. So a bit of a deeper dive on our agenda. We're going to search and find what we need using Bing. We're going to analyze data in Excel. We're going to build a slide deck in Moments with PowerPoint. We're going to build a better collaborative space in Teams. We're going to carve out time using Viva and Outlook. And we're going to proof our Word documents to make them available to wider audiences. And then we're going to jump back into OneDrive to check out some of our documents. All right, let's start exploring. Just give me a moment. So the first thing I'm going to open up is Edge. So I'm in Edge. Now I'm going to go into here, just the search bar, nothing new yet, and I'm going to actually type in AI. Actually, I'm going to say, what is AI? I'm going to hit enter. Now, nothing new yet. It's actually looked up the internet, and I can actually look to see what the AI is or what the internet thinks the AI is. But if you're not using Bing, there's actually these two features available. First of all, there's a work tab here. So I'm going to click on work. And now what it's actually doing is it's actually going to say, what is AI? But instead of targeting the internet, it's actually targeting all of the work resources that I have access to. So any files that I've created related to AI or any files created by anyone else that have been shared with me will actually be here. And I can see everything related to AI within our organization. I'm going to go back one. So look at that work tab if you've not. But there's also this chat button here. So this is the chat that we've all been hearing about on the internet. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And right now, this is Microsoft's version of ChatGPT. It's called Chat. Microsoft actually highly invested in ChatGPT, and now it's actually looking on the internet and it's actually investigating or returning results for me almost instantaneously of what AI is. So it's there, it's defined AI for me, but it's actually pulling up sources here. It actually referenced four sites or four locations to actually write me that synopsis on what artificial intelligence is. You can use this AI right now today. It's free if you're using Bing. You can actually, if you're using Bing and Edge, you can actually use that today, and you can actually start asking questions and having it doing that synopsis. Instead of looking at one source, it's going to look at all of those sources and write me a response. Again, AI is not perfect. It needs to be proofed to make sure that that's actually correct. But what a fantastic tool about giving me a great head start. Just give me a moment here. Now, Copilot was actually launched here. It's becoming more generally available. Now, I don't have Copilot on this tenant, but I do want to point out what Copilot looks like. So Copilot is coming to Edge. It's coming to more and more Microsoft spaces. But basically what Copilot will do is basically that experience I just showed you, but Copilot then will actually do that for my organization. So that's kind of combining those two things that I just said internally, where then I can actually queue it on our internal data. And I can prioritize that, and I can give it commands, I can ask it things. So just know that that's what Copilot is. It's basically a lot like that experience that I just showed you, but instead of targeting the general internet, I'm actually targeting our specific resources internally. Now I'm just going to minimize that window. Now there are some other reasons to use Edge and Bing. First off, they're built on Chromium for universal compatibility. Microsoft does not profile for profit. AI is keeping your search private and secure. It integrates with M365 applications and SharePoint data. It's more secure, protecting you and your organization. In the last 12 months alone, Microsoft spent about $10 billion on security. That AI-powered chat, the M365 and SharePoint search. I'll also even let you know that if you register, when you search, you can actually earn points, and those points can actually be redeemed against things like coffee cards and stuff like that. So you can actually be rewarded for your searches. Now I'm going to come out of there, and I'm going to jump into Excel. The only thing I did was preload a fairly large data set here of Excel, and I didn't do anything else yet. Now, I just uploaded this data set, and under the home, over here, I have this analyze data. Now, again, I need to let you know any feature I cover today can be turned on or off by the user, by the team, or by the organization. But if it's on for you, you have that here. And this is AI at its best, or one of the things at its best. I'm going to click on that. And right now, AI is able to analyze things probably quicker than I can. It was actually able to instantaneously take a look at that spreadsheet and actually render information here that it thinks is relevant to me. So it's actually pulling up this information, and I can even drop in an instant pivot table. It's asking me questions right here, but I can also go and ask it my own questions. So I'm just going to copy a question that I pre-made over here. I'm going to pop it into that space there. And that question is, what were the profits in 2014? So it quickly summarized them for me. So AI is allowing me to understand my data quickly. It's allowing me to, it's interpreting the data with me or for me, or it's then helping me to render this data so I can actually share it and hold that discussion or control that discussion about the technology or about what we're doing here, about the data. And instantly I could actually insert a pivot table. Again, I could go ask these questions that it thinks are relevant. But I'm just going to say, what were the profits in 2014 in a chart? And look at that. So it rendered it from that whole number down to, it's broken it down to here. We can click on that. We can insert that. You can see this is a really powerful feature, again, for me to interpret my own data, understand my data, do a deeper dive on my data, or then share out that data and control the narrative on that. It is such a strong, strong feature there. And then I can even go down to here. And again, it's coming up with questions that it thinks I should be asking or that it thinks I might want to ask. And I could actually then say, this is the average product by product for year in 2014. And you see it already rendered all that stuff out there. So it's allowed me to shape my data, throw in these visuals and do all of that. It's a really outstanding feature. If you've not used the analyze data, I'm going to highly encourage you to use that because that could be available for you today if it's already turned on in your tenant. Now I'm going to come out of Excel there. And next I'm going to go into PowerPoint. And I'm actually going to go create a new PowerPoint. So let's say I actually want to do a PowerPoint on AI. And I have the idea for 1 or 2 slides, but I don't know how to get started. And I'm daunted and I don't know where to start with this. Well, if you've not used it, this is also backed by AI, this quick starter. And all I'm going to say is AI and search. It searched the internet for AI or artificial intelligence. And these are some sources here. I'm going to click on just one of them. I'm going to click on the first one, and it's found me a whole bunch of categories that it thinks I might want to add to a PowerPoint. Now, I don't need this one, the in fiction. I'm going to hit next. And now I'm not a designer. So it's actually come up with designs that it thinks works for this based on what I'm doing here. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to pick the first one. I'm going to hit create. So literally, I had an idea to do something on AI, but it's already created me my slide deck with all of my sections that it thinks will be relevant to me. I have notes in these first 2 tabs. So I had a fantastic head start or a great start here. I'm going to go down to my first slide down to here. I'm going to go down to the designer. Again, it's backed by AI. So I'm going to click on this image here. Because I said AI, it actually found me AI images. So I could replace out all of my slides at once using Designer, or I could do one at a time. But then you could see very quickly, I can actually design this and create something special for myself. And I did it so quickly, literally within minutes. So if you've not used those features, please take a look at those. Now we're going to stay in PowerPoint for a moment. And I'm going to go to the slideshow tab. And in here, if you've not used it, Rehearse with Coach is absolutely awesome, and it is backed by AI. So I clicked on that. I'm going to hit Start Rehearsing. Now, I want to let you know I'm actually part of Toastmasters. Now, one problem with Toastmasters is I've been around it a long time, and sometimes people don't want to offend me or hurt my feelings. But I need to let you know, for me to be a better presenter, I actually need my feelings hurt sometime. Well, AI doesn't care if I like it or if it likes me. So what AI will actually do here is it's just going to look at the data. It's going to look at how quickly I'm going, what I'm saying, what I'm doing, if I'm just reading the slides. It's looking at all of that and it's analyzing it for me. Another thing that I love about this is I did not need to carve out 30 minutes of 4 people's time who I was going to ask to review that. I can actually use the AI anytime I want when it works for me, and I can actually go practice this and get real-time feedback. Now I'm going to go and pause this, and I'm just going to hit escape to come out of there. Okay, it's not. There we go. Now, it's actually giving me this little window here. We're only in that session for 52 seconds. We covered one slide. I wasn't using filler words. If I'm going, and those kind of things, or because, or if I'm using a lot of repetitive words, it's going to flag those. So consciously, the next time I practice, I can practice better. So you can look at that. It's actually even going to look to see if I'm being inclusive. I kind of like this because if I'm using words like mankind instead of humankind, it will flag that. So then I can actually reshape out my conversation to have it be better and more inclusive and more inviting to a wider audience. It's looking at my pitch. It's looking at all of those features there. So if you've not used Rehearse with Coach, give it a try. It is backed by AI, and you can use it in PowerPoint again today if it's turned on in your tenant. I'm going to come out of there. I don't need to save that one. We'll come out of there. Next, I'm going to go into Teams. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go create a new appointment. Now, I want to let you know I'm in a demo environment called Contoso, and I'm actually in here as Alex. But I'm going to go here and I'm going to create a new meeting. And I'm just going to say this, discuss AI. I'm going to go down to here and I'm just going to type in A. Now, I only typed in one letter, but what it did is it found me all the people that have A's in their names, and it actually prioritized the person at the top is the person that I actually communicate with most often. So it's assumative. It's actually going to go in there and highlight the people that it thinks I communicate with more often or most often, and build that collaboration space really quickly. Now I'm going to go down to here. I'm also going to invite our manager, who's our MOD. Now that was nothing new, but I do want to point out there that AI, it's working for us when we don't even realize it. Now I'm going to go to this scheduling assistant. This is also backed by AI. Now what it's doing is it's telling me that I'm available, Alan is available, Adele is not. Now that just means that I can actually use this AI to, there's no back and forth. I'm not calling everyone, I'm not emailing everyone, I'm not texting everyone saying, are we free at 11 o'clock this afternoon for this meeting? I can actually see that based on their calendars, and I can actually then go pick a slot or a time that works for us all. And that just means that within moments, I've actually secured a spot that most of us will be able to attend, or all of us can attend, and I go ahead and hit send. That is going to save so much time. There's no more of that back and forth if you start using that as well. And that is all AI. Now, I'm going to go into just the previous meeting. I highlighted this one orange just so I can find it. I'm going to go into a previous meeting, and I'm going to go over to this tab over here called Recap. So I do want to let you know there, right now I'm showing Recap, but any of the documents that were actually shared before in that space in real time, before we had the meeting, during the meeting, after the meeting, any of that content that was actually shared by me or anyone else will be right here. We'll also then have our notes. So these are notes that any of us could contribute to. So one of us wrote an agenda, we had some meeting notes, we had some follow-up tasks with @mentions. So this is just literally putting all the things that we did in this meeting space at my fingertips. I'm also going to let you know that I received an email with this. All of the information, all these notes came through in an email. So if there was something I needed to action, I could have seen that as well. So just know that there is this recap here. If you have Teams Premium, you have an intelligent recap, which even takes this experience further and more AI. And we'll be covering that in our Teams Premium session in the near future. But now I'm going to come out of Teams. And the next thing I'm going to go into is Outlook. Now, in Outlook, this is the Outlook on the desktop. We have this Viva Insights. This is not the only way that I can pull up Viva Insights, but I'm going to click on that. And Viva Insights is basically my best personal assistant. Now, none of this information is being shared with my organization, with my manager, with my leadership. This is purely AI trying to empower me to get more out of my day. So what it's going to do is it's actually saying you need some focus time. Now I'm going to let you know that I have a calendar link out there where anyone can actually book me. And if I leave it open, I'll be completely booked out and I'll be on back-to-back meetings all day and I'll have no time to do the other work that I need to do. Well, if I book some focus time, it dedicates that time for me and doesn't make it bookable. So it's actually suggesting that I shape out some focus time here. It's actually suggesting that I make some quiet time. Maybe I need to do some research or some investigation so I can actually book in that time and have that dedicated and budget that time right into my calendar. Time away, it's even suggesting that I book in dedicated lunches. That way I don't miss my lunches because then those don't become bookable and I can shape out my day and I can find that work-life balance during my day. So it's just not back to back to back meetings. Now, that's how Viva Insights looks right now, but Viva Insights will actually shape and change based on what I'm doing and what it actually picks up on my workday and what I can actually do to get more from my day. So that's a space to keep your eyes on. There's also a daily email that can come into your inbox if you're signed into that, where you can actually even get summaries and updates, or that agenda that I just talked about from the Teams meeting can actually be delivered to my inbox. So then I can actually add those to any other spaces that I need to if I have assignments that I need to do tasks, whatever it might be. Now, I'm going to come out of Outlook there, and I'm going to go into Word. All I did was preload a document here. Now, we've all used spell check. We've all used grammar check. But if you've not used it, under the review, there is this editor. I'm going to click on that. And this right-hand rail, it popped open an editor. Now, the editor is giving me a score, and we want to get that score as close to 100% as possible to make this the best document we can there. So first off, I can pick the style of writing. Is this a formal document, a professional writing document, a casual document? And you can see the scores are changing, but I'm going to move this back to a formal document. I can use this space to do spelling and grammar, but we've all done that. But what it's also doing is it's going to help me to refine my document. The AI is stepping in to help me with even more. So it's actually saying that there's two sections here that aren't that clear. I can look at them to see if I can make them clear, and it's going to make suggestions. I can click on this concise tab, and it's going to look there to see if there's anything that we can actually look at to make our document more concise. Now I'm going to look at this inclusive. Now, I purposely put this sentence at the bottom. In 1492, Columbus sailed to the New World. Well, there's actually a bias in there. If you don't detect it, the computer will, or the AI will. So in 1492, Columbus sailed to North America because it was actually an existing world before Columbus got there, and it was pre-populated before Columbus got there. So that's a bias. And by removing that bias from there, we're going to have a better document. It's going to be better written, and it's going to be more accessible to more audiences. And more people are going to actually be engaged with that document and not rejected by that document. It's even flagging here Redmond. So I need to actually think of another word for Redmond. We don't want to include that. Now, so basically just know it's looking at all of your writing. The Fuzz searched her house without a warrant after the chase ended. Fuzz, it's actually flagging right here because it's actually thinking I should use the word police because this is a formal document. Not everyone will understand that the word fuzz is a colloquialism for police. So very quickly, I was able to correct that, and I'm able to change my scores instantaneously by adopting those. So take some time with that editor if you've not. It's even going to look at geo-sensitive terms. So I'm in Canada, and if I'm speaking English, there may be things I say in English that are not offensive in English, but if I'm actually producing this for also a French audience, some of the things I say may actually then be offensive. Well, this will flag those so I can actually rewrite them so I'm not alienating that French audience. So that's the editor tool. That is completely backed by AI here as well. But there's also another tool I want to point out here that's somewhat related, and that is this accessibility or check accessibility. Now, accessibility is about making our document for a wider audience. I want to let you know that there are people out there that require accessibility tools in order for them to read that document, such as if they had a seeing impairment. They may not actually be able to read the document or read pictures. Well, we can actually help them with that, And we can then use this accessibility checker to make sure that we're being more inclusive and that we're actually making this document for a wider audience internally and externally. So right here, I can actually click on these and I'm going to go to there. So it's highlighting this bar here, which is just decorative. So I can actually say that is, I can either add a description or I can actually just add that that's decorative. So if I was seeing impaired, I know that that's not actually something that I need to focus on or something that I need to know. But if this was actually a chart or a graph, we'll go to a new item. I just clicked on that item that said, this one, that's Contoso, that's our logo. So I could either mark it decorative or add a description, and I can say, this is the company logo. Now, somebody who's seeing impaired or has colorblind that might not see orange or whatever it might be, they can't see that, but then they can actually see the words that are backed by that. And simply by adding that, I'm making this document more accessible for a wider audience. So do have a play with those. The onus is on us as a producer of a document to make it more accessible to a wider audience. So the one thing that I'm going to challenge you to do is use that editor space, use that check accessibility there, and make your document for that wider audience. Give me a quick moment here. I'm going to actually go down. If you've installed OneDrive on the desktop, you'll have this little icon here. And I could go to the folder where it's cached on the desktop, the recycling bin, but I'm just going to go view my documents online. This will also show the most recent documents that I've used, but I'm going to go view my OneDrive online. Now, OneDrive is your personal storage for work documents. So they're all stored here. Now, I'm going to go up to here and I'm going to type in the word someone, and we're going to search for that. Now, that same search, so we have that search in Bing, we have that search in Teams, we have that search here. Those are universal. And again, it's going to look at everything that I've created or everything that has been shared with me and look at the metadata, the words inside of the document and more. Now here, you can see these files have the word someone in the title or the word someone has been used in those documents, but this is a picture and someone was not used in that picture. Well, I'm going to click on this. So OneDrive actually has OCR, and OCR is able to analyze your pictures, the photographs in your OneDrive, and analyze if there's any words in them. So I said someone, so there's the word someone right there. So just know that this intelligence is working for you behind the scenes in so many ways, in so many places, that even if I'm adding a picture or a PDF, and I'm adding that PDF, it's going to actually index all of those words in there or find them and actually add them so I can actually search for that file or that picture based on those words. It is pretty awesome to be able to find what you need very quickly. And all this is allowing me to do is wherever I'm searching, it allows me to find very, very quickly the file or files that I'm looking for or the related files so I can jump in to consume them, use them, share them. Just give me a moment. I'm going to minimize that. Now, that was my quick demos today. We are going to have a quick conversation on responsible AI, and then we're going to start wrapping up. So I'm going to get to any questions very, very soon. And again, light up that chat space if you do have any questions. Now, responsible AI, just give me a moment here. I do want to let you know that there are so many Easter eggs waiting for you, and there are more coming all the time. AI has many vendors to choose from. Microsoft provides deep integration with tools we use. Microsoft protects our data, making it more secure. That is not the same with all AI providers. Responsible AI, some highlights from responsible AI. I do want to let you know, Microsoft does perceive that your company data is your company data, and it stays your company data. Microsoft does not train models on your data unless they're asked. I do want to let you know Copilot can be authorized to extend and target resources outside of the Microsoft ecosystem. For instance, I may want to ask Copilot about our Facebook or Twitter campaign. If I was granted access to that data and it's connected, I could simply I could say, how's our Twitter campaign been in the last 3 days? How's it been in 3 months? How's it been since inception? And it can actually then grab and fetch that and produce that for me. And I could then use that to be the foundation of my report. Permissions and access can be curated for the user, by the team, or by the organization, giving users what they need to get the most from Microsoft and beyond while avoiding the risk of oversharing. I did say this before, but I do want to underline that AI is not perfect. Content needs to be proofed and verified. For me, AI is about getting a quick, fast start. My personal best practice is to flag content that is being curated by AI. I may do this with the commenting system in Office, or I may adopt a new style, a style block, and label it. And I might even say created by AI or created by Dallas and AI, because I might have actually let the AI find it, fetch it, and then I'll actually proof it and enrich it. And I can actually then author that as me and AI, or just as me. Now, I will let you know, I am going to paste a link into the chat space for you about responsible AI. So you can actually look at that further if you choose. Just give me a moment. I will post that into the chat space. Maybe I won't paste that into the chat space. Give me a quick second. All right. I do want to point out that there is actually a QR code on the right-hand side of the screen there. You can use that QR code to grab 30 minutes with us, or you can actually email us. You can follow us on Twitter, on LinkedIn. You can check out our website there. But I want to encourage you to please get in touch if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or if you'd like to learn more about the Microsoft adoption services. We'd love to set up a call to understand your priorities and discuss what we can do to be able to help you. I am trusting that you got something from today's session. If you have no questions, comments, concerns, you'll be able to drop here very shortly, and you'll be welcome to sign off. However, I'll be sticking around to answer anything. I want to thank you for your time and hope that you have a wonderful day. But now, just before we move on to the questions, I will be stopping the recording so people can feel free to come off mic. Give me a moment. And I will be pasting those links into the chat space for you as well.